All right, so why social media? This is the way our society operates now. If we're not on social or on a website for that matter, we're invisible. Social media, in my mind, exists to do two things. Number one, it serves to drive traffic to your website if you have one. And number two, it seeks to engage your customer before they even know who you are, and also, of course, afterwards as well. A common misconception is that social media is a good substitute for a website. The reason why this is untrue, in my opinion, is because they control everything about what goes on the platform. So on a website, we control everything. We control the flow of information, how it gets out, what we do with it. So the website is really where we should be focusing most of our attention, but it's a difficult thing to pull off. So your IT department's going to help you a lot with that. So I'm attacking the social media thing first, and then we're going to talk about the websites and stuff like that at a different date. It's like on your plate, you have your meats, then you have your starches and your vegetables. To me, the meat is your website, and then the starches and vegetables and everything like that is all your social media feeds. They all come good together, but there's really one main course, and that's what your website is. So I'm not going to talk about how to set up a Facebook page then, because we're all pretty much set there. But I will explain a little bit about why I've set things up the way that they're set up. So here's the personal feed that you would pop into on your phone as you jump into the Facebook app, at least from an iPhone. This is what it looks like. And if you want to be able to get to your unit page pretty easy, you go to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen where that what we call the hamburger symbol is, those three horizontal lines at the bottom. You click that, and that just sends you into this page right here where you see your profile at the top, the pages that you control right beneath that, and some other options there that we're not going to need to talk about too much today. So I'm going to hit where it says your 67 pages, and yes, that's all of your pages that I've got on there. Up at the top, you can see the wing page right there. I'm going to head into the wing page on what we call the back end. Up at the top there, we have our cover page, and this, of course, reflects the 80th anniversary. You will also notice, if you can see right where it says Air in the Civil Air Patrol in red, there's a blue dot there, and if I scroll to the side, you can actually set this up as a carousel. So if you didn't want to have this and just this as your cover photo, you can simply scroll to the side, and there's the cover photo that we had at Wing before the 80th anniversary thing dropped. And you can set up, I think, 5 or 6 different photos here. You can also set up a video, too, if you'd like to. If you look there, you'll see a video playing on theirs. Pretty cool. So if you wanted to do something more interactive, that's also possible too. So moving on down, we have the profile picture there, which should be your squadron patch. And that's the most identifiable feature of your unit. The title there, New York Wing, Civil Air Patrol, what we're supposed to do, and not just because Cap says so, but just because it's a great idea for people searching around and trying to find out who you are on the internet. So it should be your full squadron name, and then Civil Air Patrol afterwards to aid in searches when people are looking for you, because people don't always know what our squadron names are, but they kind of know in our area where we are. Right underneath the name there, you should see an @ sign. That is your username or your URL. Yours are going to be NY and your 3 squadron, the numbers from your squadron designation, and then Cap after that. So since we don't have Cap in the name, this is a good place to put Cap. So in case people type that in, that will also show up on search results. This is nice and short and concise. All right, so we're going to scroll down just a little bit. You can see here where it says home in blue towards the top of the screen. You can scroll through there to see different items that you have. Instead of scrolling all the way through your feed, you can go ahead and hit photos. And then right there, all the photos that you've posted will show up very, very easily. And you can see different albums that you've created or where all the photos have landed as well on this carousel here. Same thing for videos. There we go. There's some of the videos we posted along with a couple of the stats. All right. And some live videos as well. Okay, this is an important piece right here. The most important thing that you can do is get your followership up. One thing to keep in mind about posting for Facebook is when you post on your unit page, it does not mean that every single one of your followers is going to see what you've posted. Facebook decides that. So like right here, if you look at the community tab that I've got up there for you, 2,200 people like the Wing page and 2,400 people follow that. They have all these algorithms that I know very little about, and they do that on purpose. that'll decide who will see your posts. So out of those 2,400 people that like the Wing page, I'll be lucky if maybe 100 or 200 people will see what I post. So the better followership that we have, the more active that they are, the more chances that we have of a greater number being able to see our content. You can see now in my feed some of the posts that I've done recently. The most recent one that we did was this post from yesterday morning about our legislative day slash week slash month that we've been all about. You can see here how many people have been reached. Look at this video that we posted about this cadet. 963 people reached there. That doesn't mean that many people interacted. If you can see above, there's 2 comments, 5 shares, 621 views. So one more thing. If you look up here at the top where it says updates and a little bell that says 43 notifications, that's where you can keep track of who's interacting with your page. As you can see, one of our participants here, he liked New York Wing Civil Air Patrol. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to click that top gear symbol there. And here's where you can control all the information that is on your page. There's the general settings up top, your page info. That's where we talked about your name, your category, the cover photo, the profile photo, all that information is right there. So if you have to adjust it, this is the place to do so. You'll have to do some functions from a computer because Facebook is a little bit weird. Like I said, they don't allow us to do everything from a phone. By the way, the category, while we are a youth organization, while we are government organization and several other kind of categories, nonprofit is our chief category that we happen to be. So that's why I've only designated that one category for your page and also this page here too. Let's jump on down to page roles. And this is all the people that have access to posts on your unit page. So as you can see, there are several on the Wing page. There's myself and a few assistants, a few of the group PAOs are in here as well. So that's actually a good thing. The more people that are posting to your page, the better, so that we can make sure that we're always active. Facebook says that if we post once a day, they consider us to be an active page and they'll serve up our content to more people. If you've got a lot of people probably on your unit page that are no longer active, you might want to clean that out some. If you go down towards the middle of the screen, you'll see the Instagram tab. You tap that, and here you can see that the Wing Instagram is tied up with the Facebook Instagram, and that there's a couple of great reasons for that. Look at the top of page info. You see how it says sync page info? That means that if I change something here on the Facebook page, it'll automatically change on your Instagram instead of having to go through there and do it on both platforms. So we're getting you more active on several platforms, but I promise you it's not going to be 3 times the work. All right, I think that's just about everything I wanted to talk about for Facebook. One word about boosting. Facebook is a business, and they would like for us as a business page to throw money at them to boost our posts to a bigger audience. You can do this by geography. You could do it by demographic. And what I've found is they do serve up your content to more people, but it's not necessarily the kind of people that would be interested in our information in the first place. So in my opinion, boosting your posts, while it is pretty cheap for the most part, it is pretty ineffective.
Question about hashtags. Do you use hashtags?
The Instagram hashtags are the best. The other platforms, not quite so much.
Thank you.
Facebook Live. They love that you post videos live on the feeds, and they will serve that up more than anything else that we do. And speaking of serving up your content, here's kind of the hierarchy of posting. Facebook Live videos are the best. Videos that you record are second best. Photographs that you put up are third best. The links that you will post and shares, things of that nature, are underneath that. And then text-only posts are way at the bottom as far as being very effective to grab audience.
Basics, please. How do you post and how do you take down?
All right, so let's go over here to the Facebook page. Right at the top, you'll see underneath the Watch Video tab is Publish. So we'll go to Publish from here. And what's on our mind? So here you could post a link or a photo or a video and paste it right in there. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and find a link to put there, first of all. Here's a great one by our Major Peter Milano over at Putnam County. So if I would like to make sure that I post this over at the Wing page, all I have to do is come down here. Right above the Boost Post button is the share arrow. I'll click that. And then at the bottom, now you can see this little idea pops up here. It says news feed. And it asks me where I'd like to post that. So I don't want to put that on my regular news feed. I'd like to post that at Wing. So there's the Wing one. Click that. Now it's going to be posted to the Wing page. I type up something about that like, yay, Peter, which I'm not going to really post. But then if I wanted to post that, I would hit share now, that blue button, and it's going to go directly to the page immediately. As far as taking down posts, what I'll do is I'll come over here to a post that I've done. And if you look at the post about the legislative day, right next to our name is 3 dots, the 3 horizontal dots. You punch that, and then all these options come up, and you can pin it to the top if you think it's a really important post. If you're unhappy with your grammar, you can edit the post from there. And then, of course, the trash can. That's where you take the post down if you must do so.
Basically, all of these, you go into your own Facebook page, which is personal, and you
Correct.
add the groups to your
Correct.
own page.
That's correct. And an important word about that, as far as security is concerned, nobody that has access to your unit page can access your personal information. Facebook uses your personal sign-in information as a gateway into the unit page, but not the other way around. So it's only a one-way access. All right.
How do you post a live feed?
Right over here, publish. And if you scroll down, do you see that red video icon that says live video? All right. So here we go. Hello. We're not doing the live video yet. This is just a preview. And if you'd like to type a description about what you're doing, there it is right there above the start live video. That way it'll show up in news feeds. And as soon as I hit go live, like if I did it right now, you'd see it pop up on the Wing page right now with my crazy face. So there we go. That's how a live video is done. What happens sometimes, you tap in here and then you hit paste. Boom. All right. You'll notice that the Twin Tiers post that I tried to copy has populated inside there. But look above that. It has the URL there. What you want to do if you ever do copy a link and post it into your whiteboard here is to make sure that you delete the URL. Boom. Gone. Now, the link will still post with this preview here, but that URL is gone. So it just looks really, really clean. And it's also important, if you can, to not just post the link. You want to say something about it just because it gives a little bit more engagement. Just saw this. Really cool. Then you hit send that way. All right. So always say something about your shares. Always say something about your links. Don't just post them outright without any kind of comment from you. People want to know why you're sharing it, not just that you're sharing it. Over to the other Facebook-owned Instagram. They didn't used to be a Facebook company, but Facebook now owns them. So that's one of the reasons why they're connected the way that they are. I'm assuming that many that are in this meeting probably do not have an Instagram account. So I'm going to go over how to create one first, and then we'll talk about posting, etc. Okay, so the very, very first thing they're going to ask for is the username. Now, just like Facebook, you want this to match exactly. So if you are NY033CAP, then that's what you're going to put right here for your Instagram page. Let's just make something up here. New account 001. Moving on. So now once you've entered NY, your 3 numbers and cap, we hit next. Now we got to create a password. Uppercase, lowercase, letters, numbers, and some symbols are usually best for creating your password. It should probably be the same as your others, just for ease of memory. Hit next. All right, welcome to Instagram, new account 001. You should add new phone or email underneath the blue tab. All right, so there's your phone number. Hit next. All right, now here's where you would connect your Facebook account to your Instagram account. One quick note here. There is something called Connected Account Experience. It will connect your unit Instagram to your personal Facebook page. You do not want this. There are other ways to connect, and this is one of them here. All right, you can find some contacts of yours. So many of your friends or your unit members are probably already on Instagram. Then you would search your contacts to connect with them here. That's a good way to get your followership going on Instagram. All right, add the profile photo. I would recommend the import from Facebook. So that way you don't have to go searching around for the emblem again. We hit next. Okay. So now they're asking us to discover people now. Some of your friends that you might have, you can follow them. And of course, if you follow them, chances are they will follow you back.
This is John. I have a quick question. Do the roles from Facebook carry over to Instagram? Can I assign other folks access to manage this account?
Instagram is a little bit different. They don't have page roles, but anybody with your password will be able to manage the account with you. By the way, that's how Twitter works too. So Twitter and Instagram, you have to have the specific password for the account. Facebook is the only one that is different. All right, so let's talk about how this works on the page. At the very, very top, next to the Instagram scripty logo there, you will see a plus sign and a heart and that little squiggly chat bubble there. That goes to your Facebook Messenger. That also goes to your Instagram Messenger, which you can connect the two of them. And the heart basically tells you what's going on with your activity. Look at that. We have a brand new account that just got started this morning. So they have followed us. So I'm going to follow them back. Let's go take a look at their page for a second. There you can see the username up at the very top. You can see the profile photo and a nonprofit organization. What she needs to put in here now is her profile name, which they did not allow yet. I'll show you where that's done. And then she does have our website up there. Cool. Thanks, Kim. All right. So as I'm scrolling through the Wing news feed here, it'll show us who has liked our photos. Some of the differences between the platforms, Instagram is very visual. In fact, it doesn't even allow you to post links. There is a workaround for that. So as I pop into this post here, we can see, all right, we did this post 4 days ago, and we can see who likes it right underneath that little blue dot where it says liked by the Orange County Squadron and others. I'll hit that, and it'll say 59 people have liked our post. Let's come back out of the heart. All right. You'll see the big wing patch with the red circle around it. These are your Instagram stories. These are also on Facebook. These are 24-hour posts that once you put them up, they disappear afterwards. It's just a very interactive way to engage your audience. So what I do is I'll put a post up on my wall. This is the wall. This is all of our posts that we've ever done since account creation back in 2018. You could see the New York Wing Civil Air Patrol name right below that story there. There's our category and a little blurb I've put in the description. You need to make sure that your squadron name needs to be there. Your squadron designation needs to be there. Your Civil Air Patrol term needs to be there. Again, for people to search for you on a Google search, that will pop up if those terms are there. If they're not there, it'll be harder for people to find you. I'm going to click that patch with the red circle around it now, and you can see what our most recent story is. Right here, it was a post that we did back in 2018. It's a memory post for the Canandaigua and Rochester Composite Squadrons there. They did a color guard at a hockey game. So I thought I'd throw that up this morning as a nostalgic post. And you can also see how many people have liked it. Let me see if I could back it up a little bit. At the very bottom left-hand corner, you can see 83 people have liked this post already since I posted it just a couple hours ago. The Legislative Squadron one is 205 people have seen that. That's great. So again, the stories is just a nice little way that you can interact. And if you notice right here, it's the very first thing people will see right at the top. So it's a really great interactive tool. And not many units are using this. They'll just post to the wall and that's it. But people have to physically go to your wall, or Instagram has to serve it up to you randomly, just like Facebook would. So again, Instagram and Facebook both have this feature, and they're both trying to get you to use it. So if you do a regular post, it should also post a story, and I'll talk about how to do that in one click in just a minute. You can see how many posts we've done next to the patch, how many followers that we have, and how many people that we follow. It's important to keep the people that you follow lower than your followers. Instagram and Facebook both kind of look at that as you trying too hard to get followers. Say if those numbers were reversed and we had 1,200 people we followed and only 600 people that followed us, they're not going to serve our content up as much. So those 6 boxes that you see there in the middle of the screen, the edit profile button is the important one. You hit that, and here's where you get to change things like your profile photo, your name, your username, your website, and of course, that bio I talked to you about having those important search terms in there. Instagram is funny. They only give you 30 characters to put your name in here. If you have like a really big name like Pantanelli Squadron, they're going to have a hard time fitting every single term in there. So you have to be a little bit creative about it. you want to have the main terms of your name there. So if I would put up Pantanelli Cadet Squadron instead of the full, Colonel, blah, 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 with Civil Air Patrol afterwards, Instagram just does not allow that. You'll notice the username matches again what we did for Facebook. That website there. Okay, so we can't post links on Instagram. This is where you would put that link. Check out this post here. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel, the link in our bio. Because if you looked at the comments down here, you can see that there's a link there where it says youtube.com/channel, blah, blah, blah. You cannot click that. So as a user experience, that's kind of clunky. You have to copy that and paste it into your browser and then go. So what we do is we say link in our bio, then people go to our wall and they can see that link right there, right above our 24 Loop Road address. I'll show you what I've got up there right now. That's sending to a Google form to sign up for the new CBC that the cadets are all about. There's our post right there. And at the very bottom, I said link in the bio so they can actually get to that link. It's a little bit better of a user experience. Otherwise, your unit webpage would live right there. If you don't have a webpage or it's not current or doesn't look that great, your group webpage would be there, or the wing webpage, whatever you want to put. That's what would go right there.
How do you take down a post that you want to change?
Click on one of these posts here, and you'll see at the very far right, those 3 horizontal dots once again. You hit that, and there's all of your options. You could take it down with the delete option up there. You could turn off commenting if people are not being nice on a particular post that you put up. You can edit it. Like for me, I misspell things frequently because I'm always on my phone. It's very, very common to do. And you can go in and we can re-edit the text of that. Oh, I didn't talk about highlights. Do you see these little circles you see moving side to side? These stories that we post up above, you can archive them so that people can be like, oh, look at that first one that says cadet promotions. Let's pop into that. And what I've got set up under there are all the different cadet promotion posts that we've done so we can see them all in one spot, kind of like a photo album in a way. We can come through here and see all the different posts that we've done just for that one category. So if a cadet wants to come back and see when they've been featured, or random people are on our Instagram, they want to know what cadets are all about, then they can come through here and get a decent idea about that. We have other ones for our cadet pilots, showcasing them doing a pretty amazing feat in my mind. And they're all there. Legislative Day, we've been all about that recently, so all of our posts that we've done about that are right here, organized nice and neat. Senior officer accomplishments, right here. Since the stories do disappear after 24 hours, that's a way to make them live forever. And you can do any amount of highlights up there. And again, they're at the top because they're really easy for people to see. We're going to cover the insights a little bit later. Instagram posts, you should do about 1 or 2 a day. 3 is a lot for Instagram. Lately, I've been posting about 3 or 4. So Facebook's about 1 post a day. Instagram, you could double that if you want to, but try not to do less than 1 a day. We had a question about hashtags. Let's jump into that for a second. All right, take a look here beneath this wonderful smiling picture there. You'll see a little caption by me where it says, please high five the newest chief to the stalwart squadron. And by the way, you can tag squadrons that you're talking about inside your posts. All you need to do is start with an @ symbol. This also works for Facebook too. It's good manners to tag them in that so that they can see that you're posting about them. Then you'll see those colored dots on the left-hand side and then a whole string, goodness sakes, of a lot of hashtags. What hashtags are, for those that don't know, are kind of like chat rooms. So if you look at some of those hashtags there, there's one that's called volunteers. So anybody that puts a post with that hashtag on there will show up in that channel. So if I click volunteers, there's 1.4 million posts of people with the hashtag volunteers. There's some cap stuff in here and a lot of not cap stuff here. But if people are typing in volunteers, they have a good chance of seeing our material, especially if it's a 1.4 million one. So hashtags are really important for Instagram. More people do see our content if we put them there versus when we don't. It's important not to do a million hashtags like you saw. There's just a few really pertinent ones. I usually like to do 4 or 5 tops.
It's okay if we use reposter to repost your other people's posts.
Correct. That's coming up next. Thank you for mentioning that. All right.
Okay.
Since she mentioned repost, first of all, are there any other questions on how hashtags work? If we have a special event coming up and we would like to do a hashtag for that, for all the posts by everybody to get aggregated there, like let's say we have a wing conference coming up, we will put in New York, hashtag New York Wing Conference 2022, right? Then everybody who posts on that, no matter who they are, all those posts will show up in that chat room for us to see. So what she's talking about is there's a way to share a post because you can't really share here. So there's a way to do it using a separate app. And if you look at the bottom left corner of this photo of this cadet, you'll see those two arrows with the NY417 cap. That's done using a repost app that helps us give credit to where we got the post from. So in the middle of my 9 icons here is the repost app. You can find that at the App Store and at Google Play. I come in here in order to do this. Let's pop back into Instagram real quick. If I want to share this, those 3 dots up there is where we're going to go. You hit copy link. See how it says link copied? Then we go into the repost app and boom, it shows up right there. And I'll click on that. And it gives us options of where we want to put that little repost icon there. We can put it in any corner. We can change the color of it from black to white, depending on what you think looks best. And then we hit repost. And then we're say all media because there was 2 different photos that we used there. So we're going to hit all media. Now it says post to Instagram. You can go to your story, which we talked about earlier, or we can go to the feed. We'll do feed for now. And there it shows up. We're going to click next at the top right-hand corner. Boom. Instagram is cool because you can use filters if you want to down here at the bottom. So let's say we want to do him in black and white. There we go. I don't typically put a photo up just as is. I like to mess with it and make it look brighter or more colorful. This is one way to do that without doing it the way that I do it, which is a little more involved. We click next. All right, up here, you will write your caption. And in the case of repost, it copies it automatically. So I'm just going to hit paste and the entire thing that they posted populates right there. Then we'll hit OK. So now we got our picture to the left. We've got our caption to the right with our hashtags and our other squadron tags so that they know that we're tagging them. You can also tag people in photos. Right beneath there, you see tag people. So let's tag Stalwart there. NY417 cap. Boom. So there we go, right on his chin. All right, so we got our post set up. We've got our people tagged. You can add a location if you'd like for where that photo was taken. You can create a promotion, which is just like boosting for Facebook, which I don't think you need to do. And then here is the fun stuff. It says post to other accounts. So we've got the NY Wing Instagram account already selected with the blue slider. So that's where you would select which Instagram account you want to post to. Beneath that, we have Facebook. It says New York Wing, Civil Air Patrol. That means that we are connected to the Facebook account of the wing. So I can post from here and it'll go both to Instagram and to the Facebook account. I could also do Twitter if I want. See how I selected that? Our Twitter is also connected to this Instagram. So I can post to all 3 accounts in one shot. Instagram. This is the easiest way to cross post. There's another app that we use called Hootsuite. Now, let's say for whatever reason you don't want it to go to Facebook and Twitter. You can just uncheck those and it'll just go right to the Instagram account, and that's that. Okay. At the very top, you will see the grid of 9 squares. That is your posting wall. If I click the middle where that TV is, these are our IGTV spots. Instagram puts a 60-second cap on our videos. So if the video is bigger than 60 seconds, we have to go to the IGTV. So that's where you're going to find videos bigger than 60 seconds. The other icon with the little person there, that's all the photos that the wing has been tagged in. This will be anybody who's tagged you from their personal accounts in photos that they've done. All photos that you're tagged in will show up there. At the top right, we have that hamburger symbol again. Right next to the plus sign is those 3 horizontal lines. We're going to click that. And this is where you can do all of your settings. It's important that your Instagram account is a business account and not just a basic personal account. This is where you would change that. We're going to go to the gear icon that says settings right at the top there. And here are all the things that you can change. That Facebook account center, you want to ignore that because that again will lead you to connecting to your personal Facebook, which will be problematic. We're going to head back to the top here where it says account. You'll see the account tab with the person in the circle. I'm going to click that, switch your account type right at the bottom. You'll see that it says switch to personal or switch to creator. I'm already on business. So if you're not on a business account, it'll give you the option to do business or professional here. This will open you up to being able to check all of your analytics and all of your stats about how your posts are doing. Also, this is where you would connect your other accounts. So if you see about 5 or 6 down, it says sharing to other apps. We'll click that. And here you can see that I've got the Facebook connected here. If it wasn't, you would not see anything here underneath the Facebook title. And then Twitter also connected. Those 6 boxes that you see, the top right, where it says Insights, I'm going to click that. And it will show me how the wing is doing here. Take a look at this. New York City, that's where people are looking at our stuff mostly. Here's the age range of people that are looking at our stuff. 2/3 men and about 1/3 women. The certain times that people are usually active and certain days. It's really important for us to see who's seeing our stuff and if it's effective or not. I'll go back to the top where it says last 7 days. Let's see what it looks like for the whole month. Again, you can see the statistics. It's still pretty much the same. So there's an even better place to do this. I'm going to introduce you to another app. Let's go back into my socials here. The top right-hand corner, you'll see something called Business Suite. This is built by Facebook. So this is a place where we aggregate both platforms at once. All right, so here's the wing page. You can see it's both connected to Facebook and Instagram up top. I can actually publish posts from here if I'd like to both accounts. You can see how many messages have been unread on both accounts. I can see how many people have commented. Here's our recent posts and how well they've done on both platforms. You can see the icons next to the pictures so you can see which one is which. Facebook had 354 people reached on this last post. Instagram about the same. All right, let's head down here where it says Insights. Our Facebook page reach in the last month is up 330%. You can see our Instagram reach too right next to it. Our audience as well. Now let's take a look at all the insights like we did before. You can even see the peaks. If you're curious which posts like really got the most interaction, we can go over here. Take a look at this one here. Tuesday, March 2nd, we got 4,000 different people seeing a certain post from there. And if you're curious what post that is, we'll go to content. And look which one it was. It's our good Colonel turning 96. All of our best posts are arranged here from top to bottom. So again, you can gauge what worked. Here's the audience. Facebook page likes versus Instagram followers, again, by gender. So you can see what's working and to whom and where. Again, New York City. We even have some people looking at us in Puerto Rico and Brazil and Germany. All right, so there's some stuff there that you can kind of get an idea of how your stuff is doing on both accounts. You can post to both accounts, but again, they have to be connected. I will show you one more way to connect your accounts. I'm hopping into the Facebook app. Back to that gear symbol up top. Over here, I think I might have shown you before where it says Instagram, middle of the page. You would click that, and if you were not connected, here's where you would do that. Let me go back to the business suite. Here's all the Facebook and Instagram accounts that we do here in Wing. You can see some of them have both accounts hooked up, some not. So I could take a peek at all your pages and see what you guys are doing and who's interacting with you and why, and find out what's working and what's not. Really cool.
If you have a question on the business suite, what do you sign in with? You know, which account do you use? Facebook, Instagram, or does it matter?
That starts off on your Facebook account. So you would sign in using your Facebook account there, and you can connect Instagram once you're in through Facebook. We're going to talk now about creating a Twitter account. Okay, so once again, I've already got one created, so it already populates the news feed here. Again, Twitter decides what it thinks I want to see. It does not, just because you post does not mean all of your followers see it. We're playing in their sandbox, like I mentioned before. So I'm going to go to the very top left-hand corner next to the time there with that hamburger symbol on the left this time with the blue dot. Hit that. And here is the New York Wing menu. It shows how many people are following us, how many people we're following. Now, let me give you a little bit of a background on what this app is like as opposed to Facebook or Instagram. Twitter is a very conversational app. Unlike the other two where we can post maybe once a day, here you can post 15 times a day. This is where all of your dignitaries and your media people hang out. So if you've got a really cool media story, this is where they're going to probably see it. So Facebook's where most of our adult membership is. Instagram's where our cadets are or future cadets. And then Twitter is where your dignitaries and your media people mostly are. We want to create an account, right? Let's see here. Any town unit Civil Air Patrol. Now, Twitter does not put any kind of character cap on what we can say here, so we can include our entire squadron name plus Civil Air Patrol there. Put a comma in there. Phone number and date of birth is not important, and I'm just going to make something up here. Boom. So far, my account says we're going to be Anytown Unit Civil Air Patrol, my phone number, and my birth date, which is far from true. Now we're going to hit sign up. Boom. The code pops up. As you can see right now, there it is popping up on my screen. So I'll just plug it right in. I'll need a password for this account. Now I'll hit next. Take a profile picture. There we are. And then we'll click next. Describe yourself. This is the official Twitter page for the Anytown Squadron Civil Air Patrol. What's that? Well, the volunteer auxiliary of the, do you see it on the right-hand side there that the character count is starting to fall? So I got 50 characters left. United States Air Force. All right. Might as well include the designation in there too, right? NY 053, Civil Air Patrol, the volunteer auxiliary. It's important to put in the search terms I was talking about before. Hit next. Enter your address book. Hit not now. What are you interested in? You could select things like aviation, then hit next. They'll give you some suggestions on who to follow. Hit next. The account is created. If you would like to make a tweet now, the lower right-hand corner with that circle with the feather and a plus sign, that's where you would do that. So we'll hit that. What's happening? Let's take this crazy picture here. Here's a crazy picture of our, I'll type in NY wing. See that @ sign there? Because I want to tag the wing. I'll hit that. Here's a crazy picture of our NY wing cap PAO being nuts. And we'll type a hashtag in here, crazy life. So if they want to see this post or anything else has to do with crazy life, you can do that. Hit tweet. Boom. Your tweet was sent. Now that we're here back on the menu, we want to make sure that our username is the same. Look at what they have there. They've populated one for us. It says Anytown Air. We don't want that. So we're going to pop into our profile. You can see a profile picture here, but do you see the blue? This is where you would put your banner or the same thing as your cover photo from Facebook. So let's click Edit Profile. There you can see the profile picture is ready to go. And there's nothing in the banner. So I'm going to hop in here. There is our 80th anniversary Twitter cover page. We will hit apply. It is also important that your Facebook cover pages and your Twitter pages do match, again, for branding purposes. So you look the same all across all of our platforms. Or you could put your website down here. Hit save. All right, there's one more thing I wanted to change, though, and that is the username. Settings and privacy towards the bottom there. Hit that. Go to account. And there's our username that we want to change. Anytown Air. Yeah, we don't want that. And here you would put NY053 cap. That's how you create a basic account and then a basic tweet. If you want to share a tweet, there's something called retweeting that you would do. I'm going to try and find the New York Wing page. I'm going to type in New York Wing in the search bar. Going to hit that. There is the New York Wing Twitter page as seen by the public. And let's say I like this tweet over here in honor of National Women's Month. If you look below the picture, you will see a chat bubble, a couple of arrows, a heart sign, and then another share button over there. You want to hit those 2 arrows, and that means you're going to retweet that particular post without having to create another one yourself. You just hit retweet, and then that person knows, hey, somebody's liking my stuff, and then it'll show up on your wall as well.
How do you give someone access to your Twitter account to post without giving them the password and the login? Is there a way to do that so that you don't give them the whole farm?
Not that I'm aware of. For Instagram and Twitter both, you do need a password to sign in, and they do have complete control once they do that. So you want to make sure you hand that password off to people that you trust. And then you can always reserve the right to change that password should there be a security issue. Just want to go over a couple of things about posting. When you post with text, do so very, very minimally, and usually in conjunction with either a link or a photo or a video or something, because we're just a visual society. You want to grab their attention so that they see something instead of just some words. When you're typing as the unit, you want to use terms like we are excited about this, we saw this, we did this. You never want to talk in terms of I, because we're now typing as a group, not as an individual. And you always want to remember that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are all public facing. Even though a great number of our followership is actually our own people, we want to talk as if nobody understands what we're talking about. So no abbreviations when possible, spell everything out. Even CAP itself, Civil Air Patrol, say that instead of CAP. From time to time, you will see me using the public page as sort of an internal message board, but I try to do it in such a way that if a public person were to wander by our page, they would recognize immediately what they're looking at. There are ways that we can do internal posting. So that would be a Facebook group page. I have one set up for the Wing CAC, for example. The cool thing about that is the public can't see what they post. And also, whenever somebody posts in a group page, it goes to everybody. Every single person that subscribes to that group page sees the notification immediately. So if you're looking to try and connect more as a unit, then a Facebook group page would do that beyond email, which all of us seem to have issue with trying to connect that way. All right, we talked about cross-posting. Remember, the easiest way to do that once all of your accounts are connected is to do so through Instagram, to go to both Facebook and Twitter from there in one click. If you're looking to babysit 3 platforms and not work your butt off, that would be the best way to do so. All right, once you've got all of your accounts taken care of, make sure you enter them in the Internet Ops module inside eServices, and that way we can get in quick to make a change. Or if there is an emergency like happened this past summer, I can pop in there really quick, post something really fast, or take a post down if need be. Speaking of taking things down, it is never a good idea to take down your platforms for any reason. If you're getting attacked online, or you feel like you just don't want to use it, or there's nobody able to man the page for you and it feels like dead weight, there's a lot of workarounds that we can put in place. Like, for instance, if there's an internet troll who's attacking your unit, if we take the page down, that can make us look guilty. It also takes down all of the progress that we've done and people cannot find us. If you think you're not being as busy on your platform, I can assign people to take care of your page for you if you would like. Or you can, like I said, cross-post from one platform to the others. Again, if you're not there, you're invisible. Each platform, like I said, has a different audience. So that's why it's so important to be in all these different places. There is some overlap, but for the most part, the audience is different per platform. Okay, about original posts. Original content is always better than sharing somebody else's content. However, if you do share, that does count as your daily post. And you can share stuff that's CAP stuff. You can share aviation stuff. As long as it's within the wheelhouse of what we represent as an organization, you can share that. Like we shared some NASA stuff when they had the Mars lander land. Military, that'll work too. So whatever you want to do for original posts, whatever you can think of, that's what we want to always go for. You'll see me doing graphics sometimes. I'll take a generic stock photo and I'll put a graphic up, like maybe Happy Father's Day or something, just to put something up that's original that I'm not stealing from anywhere else. And speaking of stealing, make sure your photos are your own photos, are Civil Air Patrol photos. You cannot just do a Google search, grab an image off of the internet and post that up. So you can use stock images, which are images that are put up for public use. You can't use photos that are not ours, even if we have express permission to use them. We need to make sure that our content is always ours. And that includes all Civil Air Patrol photos of cadets, senior members, aircraft, all of that.
Hi, this is John. Occasionally, the public will try to communicate. We get messages, and I just wanted to mention that it's important to respond to those messages in a timely manner. That's all. Just heads up.
Yes, because again, we live in a society where everything, if it doesn't happen instantly, it doesn't happen at all. So it's important to keep your notifications on for your unit pages so you can always know when somebody's trying to get a hold of you. Excellent point.
We've been posting photos taken prior to the whole mask wearing thing. We should continue, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Some of the units have been posting, by the way, photo taken pre-COVID. That'll help. All right. And everybody who has attended this meeting will get credit for it because it's time well, at least I hope it was time well spent for you. I had a blast. So I did a lot of talking, which is obviously no problem for me, but all right, everybody. This was fun. Appreciate you hanging out and have a great weekend. Love you all.
All right,
Thank you
thanks for
so
taking
much.
the time.
Thank you. My head is
You bet.
swimming, but I appreciate all your
Yeah, mine too. Sorry about that.
That was
Thanks a
great.
lot.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye, guys.